Dolphins recognize their friends by tasting their pee. Dolphins recognize their friends by tasting their pee. The scientists, they found this out. It's important news without a doubt. The scientists. Now we know that the dolphins taste their pee. This will help make life better for humanity. The scientists, they let us know the important news so we can grow. The scientists are spending their time real wisely.
Oh my God. Okay. Hello. Hi. Who's here? Who we got? We got Bob. We got Ryan. Right? Oh wait. Where's all that? What the hell's going on with the setup? God damn. Okay. There we go. Hey.
I'm reading.
Hi everybody. Welcome. Am I audible? Are you hearing me? Anybody?
You are, yeah.
I'm trying to read. Come on.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm trying to read and I'm having sound problems, which I can hear you, but it sounds weird.
Sounds weird, huh? How so?
Actually, it does sound a little scratchy now. Now that we're live.
Is it just me or is
well,
everybody? Is everything kind of messed up?
Ryan, say something.
Well, you sound fine, Bob. How do I sound?
You sound fine.
I'm fine. Let me exit and come back.
All right. So how are you doing?
I thought it was just a me problem. I'm
no,
okay.
you said that, and also I was like, "Hey,
internet-
wait, he does sound scratchy."
I think my internet's a little bit freaky, so I'm a little bit delayed from you.
Yeah,
which
it seems like there's a little delay. Well, I have gone to my CHUDBLOCK channel that I do just for watching the Chuds, and they are already talking about Otterly Noah, so that's.
Yeah.
Taking that one you want.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me at all. Give me just a. Can you vamp for a second while I try and speed up my internet a bit?
No. I mean, they're talking about how the scientist found out that dolphins identify their friends by tasting their pee, and I'm really confused because don't we all do that? Is that just me? Am I weird? Oh God! Oh God! Act normal. Hey, Dane.
Test 1 2. Test. Testes. Hello.
Okay, it doesn't sound scratchy.
Okay, good.
Right, I am back. Hopefully that speeded things up.
All right.
Yeah. So, obviously the big news is the Dolphins. Apparently they know each other by tasting each other.
I mean, I was just saying I don't know how that.
I thought you meant the
what we all
football
do.
team then.
I mean, we don't know what they do. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to say Dan Marino. I apologize for that ancient NFL reference, but
God, you're old. No,
that's the last time it was popular in the UK.
That's the last time I gave a shit about anything football, really. So anyways, well, so we're gonna talk about this new Clayface trailer out. I haven't watched that yet. Have you guys seen it?
I'm excited to see it.
I've seen it, but I'll be happy to watch it again.
I'm intrigued because I think it's interesting that they're going with Clayface so early, which makes me wonder, what was on this script that made him go, let's do this now.
Exactly, yeah, because they weren't planning, as far as I understand the history of it, they weren't planning on a Clayface movie at all.
Yeah.
And then the writer of the script came to them and basically blew them away with a pitch.
Yeah, so like
So
you could really kind of say that this movie is almost like the test case for how much this artistically driven version of the DCU is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that there's probably a lot riding on it in terms of if it's successful or not for as far as James Gunn goes. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But I mean, I know I've read there was the series that of like one shots that they did a while back. It was one bad day, so it's like a bunch of different Batman characters had one bad day, you know, in their day of life kind of thing. Different scenarios and stuff, but like Clayface's was pretty good. Like it was pretty goddamn good, and you know he's a pretty tragic character when he's written a certain way.
I mean,
Yeah.
I always loved, especially the intro two-parter that he had on the animated series. That was great.
Yep.
I was just double checking because I couldn't remember which way around it was, but yeah, Mike Flanagan co-wrote it with
Damn,
screenwriter.
I didn't know that. Holy shit!
I didn't know that either. That's crazy.
Yeah,
So
yeah, they were the ones who made the pitch, so that's why. Again,
well, then another
that's what they
Warner
got
Brothers movie news. This you remember Coyote versus Acme was supposed to come out like 73 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then David Zaslav did it, got rid of it as a tax write-off. But then, to my understanding, I don't remember who, but another movie studio bought it, and now it will be coming out because they just released a trailer.
That's crazy. So what? Batgirl win? No.
Yeah, it is kind of like where is Batgirl? I think for that tax write-off, they had to destroy it or something.
Yeah,
extreme like that, which is really just. I mean, think about that. Like, even if it's not the best movie, think about. You know, you've just put a chunk of your life into this piece of art, whether it's good or bad, you know, let the public decide. You put a chunk of your life into it, and then it's just destroyed for a tax write-off to make David Zaslav a bit richer. And it's like, oh, that sucks.
I kind of doubt that it was actually destroyed, but also
no, I mean, I feel like it's just on a long enough timeline, it's gonna see the light of day some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Like,
there's probably some copy of it floating around.
Then the other thing is there's no one at Warner Brothers that wants to release it now, because why would James Gunn want to put that out when it doesn't relate to his universe at all?
True.
So he's got no motive, and nobody else there does.
It's possible, given enough time, maybe he might release it as like an Elseworlds one shot or something. But also, but yeah,
and then we've got
he has to get his own universe established first.
Got a little bit of movie news out of that old Spider flick that's coming. There's an image out of first image, as far as I know, the official image of Sadie Sink in the movie. Her and Frank standing there, and apparently it was believed by some to be AI at first, but it's apparently not. It's actually shot from the film. And she's wearing the thing she's wearing can be like begrudgingly said that it's kind of dark green and yellowish, and so people are like, oh, it's Ms. Marvel, it's Jean Grey. I don't see it. I don't know where this came from. I don't know why it was said that was who she's going to be, other than she has red hair. And then, but I mean, the people are very, very much dead set on this is absolutely Jean Grey, and I'm like, why would it might be, but why would they put her into this movie when they haven't introduced these new X-Men yet at all? They want to focus on, you know, them in the next phase, which is why, you know, they're going to give the old X-Men a big, you know, bow out in those movies that are coming up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just seems weird that it would be Jean Grey, right?
Okay, I believe I found the image you are talking
in a Spider-Man movie, right? Yeah, you found it?
Yeah, I mean, tucking Beast at the end of Marvels, I think, was smart because it was a different world, and
yeah, well, yeah, you had to, you know, get your foot in the door to this being something they're going to do somehow, and that was a pretty good way to do it. But like, I don't know, you know, it seems like Sadie Sink's character, based on the trailer that came out, you know, you can see that she's like living in some room that someone is keeping her, you know, seemingly captive in this it's a room that's like got all the she's got like skates in there. You know, people studied that whole scene pretty well, as well as you can see it. And it's like, I don't know, I just don't see how plot with that and Jean Grey would somehow be relevant to what's going on. All the other shit going on with Spider-Man in this movie.
I mean, I'm not saying she's not Jean Grey, but I'm saying this is not evidence that she is Jean Grey. This is just red-haired character, which Marvel has a lot of. I'm
Well,
just
but don't you
saying.
see she's wearing green and yellow. So
Also, the other thing is, if it is Jean Grey, I think it's a kind of a stupid move on Marvel's
Yeah.
part from a casting point of view, because this Jean Grey will have not done any chemistry tests with Scott Summers or
true.
whoever they do for Wolverine,
Mhm.
if they do bring in Wolverine straight away. But like, particularly Scott, no chemistry tests, no sort of tests with other
Mhm.
cast members, because for an ensemble piece, you got to make sure that they work together in the way you want them to in the script. So it would be a weird move to make her Jean Grey without even knowing who the rest of the cast are.
Mhm.
I don't know for absolute certain if this image is real, but apparently it is based on some a few people who are not, I guess scammers or whatever.
Yeah,
So-
I'm not. Yeah, I don't know.
She does look a bit odd in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. So there's a whole bunch of smoke over him, and then it's a little bit over her in the front, but not in like it's a very clear picture of her. And
Well, he's
covered
been
in
firing
smoke.
weapons.
Oh, yeah.
So that
Well,
would make sense.
Punisher
And
firing
she's
no
using
weapons. What?
telekinesis to make the smoke go away.
Well, yeah.
Also,
Obviously.
the haircut. Also, the haircut just looks a bit odd, but
It
Yeah,
is
it doesn't.
weird.
Yeah, and yeah, yellow and green. Unless they're jumping right into Phoenix.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There is some. It has been some leaks that I haven't looked into. Apparently, for just plot stuff and things like that. Basically, it seems like everything but the actual movie itself of Doomsday is out there. But one thing we won't talk about all that shit. But like one thing I would like to talk about is the descriptions that I've heard of the trailer. Have y'all checked any of that out?
No.
It seems pretty. Look, I think they're gonna put butts in seats. I think whether or not it's gonna be good, I don't know. But I don't think this movie's gonna have any problems making money. Once the trailer drops, especially. So.
No, I mean, I think if you want a solid gonna make $1 billion movie, you gotta have the title begin with Avengers or Avatar at this point.
True.
Or Spider-Man, to be honest.
Yeah, Spider-Man's getting that record now too. Far From Home and No Way Home both hit that mark quite solidly.
It's true. Well, so I'll say this. Here's one thing that stuck out to me in the description of the trailer that I listened to. Gambit versus Shang-Chi. So
God, yeah,
and apparently it's awesome. Like really. And so if you like, I mean, it's yeah, it's awesome.
I mean, I really hope Shang-Chi wins because I'm not gonna lie, Channing Tatum Gambit was such just it's a joke character.
I was like, I'm actually like, really? They brought him back? Like, I didn't think they were actually gonna do it again. Jesus.
I thought it was fun to have him there in Deadpool and
Sure.
Wolverine, a comedy movie, but like, why are we? Okay.
They really
Yeah,
should have just
yeah.
all those characters should have just died and that'd have been into it, like.
Yeah.
But I guess we're not
But
going to see Blade again.
Yeah,
Sorry.
well, that's true. I got
There's
no
only
problem
one
with Channing-
Blade.
It might well be, yeah. I got no problem with Channing Tatum doing that role for that movie, but yeah, I just don't think he's right for the part.
No. He was obviously stunt casting from Fox trying to generate some interest. It never went anywhere.
Oh, he was perfect
Yeah.
casting for the Fox X-Men universe, but we're not in that anymore. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Plus, again, like, if he can't be the next iteration of the X-Men's Gambit, it's got to be just for this.
Yeah.
Mhm. I mean,
Because, again, he's going to be a different age to all the other characters in it, if Gambit's even a character. Because I did see something that says he's basically going to be the original X-Men plus a couple of others. I don't know how accurate that is, but that's the plan. So
I would expect some iteration of Wolverine just because he's just such the biggest, most famous X-Men. But yeah.
So apparently,
yeah.
I did want to mention something about leaks real quick. Remember we actually covered last year sometime whenever those, alleged concept art came out, right? Had like some stuff that was very identifiable from the Secret Wars comics, as in like, God Emperor Doom sitting on the throne. You got Sheriff Strange there, and it looked like they had Reed, down on his knees in front of him, kind of thing. And then there was another one of like this Hulk. It was like a Hulk village. It kind of had this. You remember that?
You'd remember it if you saw it, I think,
Yeah.
because it was like
It was like a kind of a medieval looking village where a bunch of Hulks lived, basically. And it apparently turns out that maybe that stuff is actually legit. So yeah, that's actually.
Hang on a minute, Dave. Hang on a minute. That can't be, because everybody knows that Tatiana Maslany has quit and is definitely not coming back as She-Hulk, because the thing she said on the comedy podcast were definitely not a joke. So I don't see how they could have been.
You're right.
True.
I don't know why I don't even know why I do these streams anymore, man. I'm so wrong.
You've got to listen to the Chuds, because their news is 100% accurate. 100%
They're always right.
I do love how they're always saying, whenever they're kind of blatant lies, so often they're like, well, I'm just joking. And it's like, then you get Tatiana Maslany on that podcast, clearly fucking joking.
The podcast, by the way, the podcast is called Comedy Bang Bang. It's hosted by comedian Paul F. Tompkins. They just don't bother to do any of research, because they can shit out a lie before anybody in their audience bothers to even try and think about it. I mean, this has always been my thing, because I know you guys know I've been watching a lot of the George Lucas talk show, which is a very funny talk show, and they have a roster of guests that the Chuds would hate. They regularly have Rachel Zegler on there, and if they did their smallest bit of due diligence, they would know their audience. They would know that she is nothing like they describe her. They've had Tatiana Maslany on there a couple of times, and again, she loves comedy. She loves doing comedy. It's crazy once you see these people in habitats outside of the Chud world. They are completely different to how the Chuds describe them.
Real quick to jump back to slightly previous or earlier topic, Anthony Gramuglia is voting for Nightcrawler to be one of the MCU starting X-Men.
Ooh, yeah.
I would be down. I would.
But I mean,
get one of my favorites.
The only problem is Jake Gyllenhaal's not going to come in and play that character, having already played Mysterio. Plus, it's kind of a dark film for
Dude, talk about
mutant powers, just like looking at dead people in wrecks or something.
Yeah. That was wild.
Weird shit. Look, don't go that route, man. Dude, I'd rather Krakoa than that.
That's true, man. He played a dark version of Nightcrawler. Listen. Probably the best all-time movie that sounds like comic book movie but isn't.
So one thing that I'm hearing, I haven't confirmed or any of this stuff, so if anybody knows, please let us know in chat. But one of the things that I'd heard was that apparently they're going to not do the thing that I was hoping they wouldn't do, which is not do Wolverine in the first X-Men movie, which I think is a great way to set itself apart and to not, just blow your load right out of the gate. Wolverine obviously was not originally an X-Man. There's so many other characters to focus on. And this is coming from like I'm a bubhead. Like, I fucking love Wolverine.
Oh yeah, Wolverine is a great character. There's a reason why he's like the most popular X-Men. I get that, but I also get distancing themselves because the Fox X-Men movies are all Wolverine led, with very few exceptions. And honestly, a lot of the better ones aren't Wolverine led. I mean, X-Men First Class, not Wolverine led, and also one of the few X-Men movies not directed by somebody who's been accused of things.
I want to give these guys a fair shake. That I think it was last week. I don't know if it was on this stream or my Friday stream, where I had this stream that I found. I mean, a clip I found of a guy kind of crashing out about what seems to be the plot of Starfighter, and complaining. He's not a chud, but he's definitely being kind of whiny, anti-fan about the fact that it's going to revolve around an older character who's troubled past, and then a kid. And how many times have Star Wars been doing that now? You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, that's okay, but there's a reason they do that, because they got to try and cater to the old fans and the younger people, right?
Yeah,
it kind of makes sense. And I'm going to give it a shot, but nonetheless, I kind of portrayed them as being like, that was the only thing I showed of them, and maybe it was a bad look. But they had another couple of clips that I watched today. It's actually pretty good, this one. So they were kind of speculating on what the X-Men universe or the X-Men, branch of things would look like in the MCU.
Mhm.
And let me find that clip. But
And while you're digging that up, I'll go ahead and address this. Hugh Jackman, I don't know if he's a conservative, but he is definitely friendly with people in the Trump administration to a degree that is gross.
I found out he's in a cult. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know he was in a cult, but
it's a cult I didn't really know existed. It's like it's Scientology-ish, but not nearly as bad, it seems like. And they maybe used to be much worse when it came to women and children. But like, yeah, it's this basically a kind of a cult that worships fucking money almost or something like that. I don't know.
Jesus. Here's what I know. I know very recently, he's saying at Rupert Murdoch's birthday.
Yes.
And then a few years ago, he was asked about his friendship with Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump. Yes, his friendship with them. And he said, oh, yeah, we're great friends. We just don't talk about politics.
Well, so yeah, him and Rupert Murdoch is also in that cult. That's why he did that.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a paid gig or something. He did that because it's like, it was part of my community or whatever, which is fucking bizarre.
Yeah. Now, I will also say, in his defense, as tepid as it is, he has always at least presented as like an LGBTQ ally. So, take that what you will. But like, he will say he's an ally, but then like make buddy with people who very obviously aren't. Yeah.
Hillsong. It's a wealth worshiping church. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, here's this.
5 X-Men that you want in the new team.
Storm, and I want her to get a solo movie first.
Good.
Roland Emmerich style, giant global Storm movie, like in all puns ways.
Show her as an Amoga.
Cyclops actually gets to be a leader and get.
The first one, like the Roland Emmerich thing, I don't really see the need for that. Really,
I'm okay if a solo movie, but maybe not Roland Emmerich style. He's not the best filmmaker.
But other than that, I think he's got some pretty banger takes here.
It's an arc beyond I love Jean and I'm confused.
I don't like.
I hate Wolverine.
I hate Logan.
I want to say those are the 2 I want in it. I don't want Wolverine.
Correct. We agree.
I would do a Wolverine series that takes place 1 season per decade, and then in the 4th or 5th season he catches up to our timeline.
That's a fucking great idea.
I like that idea. So they can still be like,
holy shit.
They can still be, they're a corporation. They can still be making money on Wolverine without having him lead kind of lead the X-Men. He's never been the leader of the X-Men, but like he's been the lead of so many X-Men movies.
He has been the leader of the X-Men before, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But
okay, that's a good argument.
I mean, it wasn't.
He's not the famous one we think of. He's
famous one I think of because it really was man, I know they won't be able to do it in the MCU, but there was a period where and a lot of people, kind of controversial period where Cyclops kind of went a little dark, and a lot dark, and then Wolverine was at the same time like kind of becoming more less, I guess, impulsive, and he became the fucking headmaster of the new school that he built, and Cyclops meanwhile became a criminal rebel running around, being a shithead with Magneto.
I'm sorry, I just saw Big Fieldy, and I'm like, Paul Verhoeven's X-Men. I don't know if that'd be good, but I'm intrigued. That
would be the only way that we get to see Cyclops' blast just like obliterate somebody's head. And it might be worth it just for that.
See you at the party, Richter.
And then he's in a movie, and that
way, we put Coy in charge of everything, please.
The amount, because that way you have the actor be ageless. That way, by the time you get in, we're emotionally connected to the new Wolverine. And I have emailed so many. Like, let me in. Let me.
Why? In. Okay. So those are 2.
Yeah.
What else?
Let me do things for you.
Please.
I'll make art.
We are the fans. We are your target audience. We want this too.
I'm not exclusive at DC. House of I.
Is he really on Friday Night Whites a lot? That's surprising. Because I've literally seen, I don't watch him I don't even know if I'm subscribed to him. I don't think so. But when I see a video of something that he's talking about that I'm interested in, I typically watch it, and he's never come off as a chud to me. But I guess he might be one of those ones that they kind of clean up their act for.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. That's fucking weird.
One of the ones that doesn't know any better, but like they use to kind of help reform, like clean up their image a little bit.
Yeah, I've never seen him on there. In fact, I'd be really surprised because the guys from whatever the other channel he's on.
Yeah.
They
he's clearly looks like he does something for DC.
They regularly sort of rally against that kind of nonsense.
I mean, I don't want to say you can't top them. It's gonna be difficult, and they have to find a an angle that sets them apart and doesn't just come off like trying to ape the what. You're right. It is going to be hard. It's going to be real fucking hard because the three things that as shitty as those movies were, as inconsistent as they were, the three things they did great for the most part were Professor X, Magneto, and Wolverine. I was about to say Cyclops. What am I thinking?
Cyclops, definitely not.
They did not do Cyclops justice.
Even when they did the reboot with the new version, I think they tried to give Cyclops a little bit more, but it still didn't work. But yeah, they did great casting for Professor Xavier and Magneto twice, which is pretty impressive, right?
Yeah.
I'm available for all sorts of writers' rooms.
Oh,
yeah. I've got a whole pitch, dude. I've got certain decades ideas.
We'll talk more about that on the Patreon. He'll give us the whole pitch.
You open. What do you open with?
You open with Japan,
Japan,
boy. And you do the Frank Miller. We'll talk about the Patreon. The 4-issue Frank Miller run is your first season, and then we'll talk about the Patreon run.
Oh my god!
Well, you're just gonna not do the origin though? You're gonna skip over the origin? Okay. I mean, you got this great idea about decades per season, but there's like a lot of decades before Japan.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking because Japan is not like what I would consider super early on, but it is a cool story too.
Hillsong Church, it's a very big church. They try to attract people by recruiting celebrities. Yeah, that's why I'm saying they're kind of Scientology-ish. The origin sucks. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? You suck. All right.
And then long game, big twist, third act, tune in the Patreon. You do a 70s Days of Future Past that uses clips from the show that come out prior, and you loop it all in. So yeah, that's right. Time travel. Use it right. You can write ahead. Anyway,
I'm getting emotional.
Those two.
Yep.
I want a really good real Jean. I think that Jean and Cyclops are a duo. What I would do is I would have a solo Storm movie be a story of her claustrophobia. The idea of someone that fears being isolated becoming someone that owns the entire sky is such a powerful story. I want that, and then I want an actual romance. I want Notebook with Jean and Scott, and then I want them to come to a movie. So those are my three at the start.
Okay.
I want Nightcrawler to be someone that's introduced with the circus element as like a nice 20-minute chunk of the movie.
Yeah.
World that hates them fears them. We used to call carnies a slur. Like we say gypsy as a derogatory.
Yeah.
I'd lean into that in the film, and they're going to be doing that with Gen Z being so socially aware.
Yep.
And then I got a weird fifth one, and those four are logical. The fifth one's for me, Chamber. I want Chamber so bad. I think if you want a Wolverine type without having Wolverine in it, you've got a guy that literally blew half his face off when his powers activated.
He does have a pissy attitude about it too, so it might be interesting. Good actor. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's a good idea. What it does,
it's good.
Even
Chambers
if you don't go
a
with
bit
these
more.
ideas,
I don't know,
even if I
but
don't
yeah.
100% want all of these ideas to happen, what it does is it makes me hopeful that Marvel is seeing the opportunities here to, kind of get creative with the X-Men. And since they've taken their sweet time, and I'm not faulting them for that, getting it, into the product. Hopefully, they're doing some cool, creative stuff with it.
Honestly, I think the Storm thing, the claustrophobia, that's a bit unoriginal and creative. I got sick of that during the original.
Oh, the claustrophobia thing?
Series. Yeah.
Yeah, her whole personality in the original.
I think it depends how they do it. They could do it right and make it work. God, I always like you guys. Did you know I watched Star Trek? I always thought the Garrick's claustrophobia was such an interesting aspect to the character. So if they play with it properly, it could work. Yes, I do agree, Ryan. I was a bit burned out on it in the animated series, but never got burned out on Garrick's aspect of it. So it could work, I think.
I think it's very hard to do something like that, though, because claustrophobia is sort of, I feel like they picked it because it's a fear that everybody knows. Like there's certain fears that everybody knows, but not many people actually know what it's like to suffer with claustrophobia. And I think that's very hard to demonstrate in a film, and how do you have that fear come back to affect her enough times to sort of display it? Like, how many times can she get trapped in a small space?
I mean, in a movie, any more than once would be really risking, kind of an exhaustive move. Like if you do it once at the very right moment, and it's like a, Spider-Man in Homecoming, come on, Spider-Man, lifting up the thing, like that kind of moment could be.
Honestly, I think as well, it's better to do it in reverse. So you show how powerful she is, then you show that this is her vulnerability, rather than showing that she's claustrophobic and then she overcomes that by. Also, it doesn't really make sense that she becomes sort of master of the sky, because the sky is the very definition of not claustrophobia. She conquers her claustrophobia by doing the exact opposite thing. It's not into that.
I mean, there's definitely there's plenty of characters that could lend to a horror film very well in the X-Men universe. I don't think Storm would be the one to do it with, but I don't know if that's what you were saying, but
and also, you actually have a typo there. You misspelled Kira O-D-O. I don't know how you got there, but yeah.
That's the one I meant to click anyway. Whoopsie. Alpha Flight show. I mean, that's probably the way to go with Alpha Flight, right? As a show.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look, you're gonna get all 8 people that live in Canada to go see that shit, and then sorry, Canada. We don't have any goddamn Canadians in this chat. All right.
Those damn Canadians with their floppy heads.
Did you guys see that? Did you see Steve Bannon saying some stuff recently? He had some stuff to say.
So something he didn't say. I don't know if that's what you're alluding to.
People like Tucker, Megan, Candace, Nick Fuentes, all the rabid nut jobs, they all see that this guy is.
Why would you just announce this? What is going on? You guys.
So if we're talking about relationships, I definitely prefer Quark and Odo's relationship to Kira and Odo. But as far as MVPs for Deep Space Nine, I definitely prefer Kira to Odo.
Yeah, for sure.
As for your anti-Canadian nonsense, I think in the current political climate, Canada's winning.
Bannon is irrelevant. I'd love to know your metric for deciding that, because I don't know.
I wish he was.
Right. I hope you're right.
He's not in the public eye, but that I would say that.
But
he's
I
more
don't
dangerous
think that
when he's
not
not.
relevant. He wasn't in the public eye whenever he fucking literally, got Trump the White House the first time. I mean, he was, but barely. The public eye doesn't like to look upon him for too long because he's hideous.
Or along with Jeffrey Epstein, basically created the Chudverse that we know.
Yep. So here, listen to this shit first.
MAGA has President Trump, and as you know, I'm a huge advocate of President Trump's third term. So right now, I think
you're not just saying that to mess with JD.
No, not at all. I think you guys all paid your taxes here yesterday. Are there anyone in the room would not vote for President Trump and what he's trying to do with this economy?
But what interested me about this was that he.
So then we're just going to fast forward here. He pissed himself.
So if you look down in Steve Bannon's crotch right there, you can see that he has pissed his pants. He literally wet the bed. These guys are the biggest bedwetters. This is the perfect illustration of a MAGA man.
Yeah. I mean,
oh my God.
In his defense, we don't know that he pissed himself. He could have had very bad diarrhea and he could have shit himself.
It could be that. Yeah, I mean, at first I was like, maybe he's just really sweaty, but I'm like, that's a lot of sweat in a very specific location.
He might be like the Deep and just went swimming before the show.
I mean, you're right. Bannon's the guy that says the quiet part out loud, and it's not like he's done it so much now that I've had to think about it. Where I'm like, you can't be not aware that this getting out that he's saying this stuff. So I think that's actually part of the psychological game that they play, where it's like, yeah, we're just going to say that he's going to do this thing or whatever, and then people, whenever he actually does it, people will have like been denying it the whole time. Yeah, he's not going to do that. Bannon, we wouldn't say that out loud if they're actually going to do it, and then they do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it kind of, I don't know. I don't like Bannon. I think he's a fucking goddamn scummy piece of shit. And yeah, we're gonna talk about another one of those in a little bit.
Listen, man. I'm gonna share this with everybody because you put that fucking image in my head, Big Fieldy, and I will never ever fucking forgive you.
Photographs photographs with a stench. Man, if you guys want a crazy trip, go find the article from right after I think Trump got elected the first time. And there's like a investigative report. I don't remember where it was on, but basically the house that Bannon lived in prior to 2016 or so that he sold seemed to have been a place where they shot like orgy pornos, and also the bathtub had been used to make methamphetamine. So yeah, that was Bannon's life before he, became whatever he was in the first administration.
Ew.
Anyways, you know what? Make Bannon the bad guy in the X-Men movie. I think that'll work.
There we go. I mean, you really won't have to do much changing to make that be accurate for your standard X-Men stuff.
Let's see. Did you guys? It's fucking InfoWars. Alex Jones lost it. He lost InfoWars. Did you hear about that?
I didn't know about that.
It was going on. It broke a few months ago, didn't it? That when he had his initial financial trouble, of what was going to happen. 18
months ago that they were going to. The way it went down was 18 months or so ago. It was announced that the guy at The Onion was trying to buy what was left of InfoWars as the brand and all their shit that their studio and everything. And they were really dedicated to doing it. And then it seemed like it was going to happen. Then, kind of at the last minute, the judge, for whatever reason, decided not to let them do that. And so,
I can tell you why. It's because Alex Jones got in touch with some lawyer friends and some moneyed people, and went to the judge to argue that this wasn't the best financial deal for the victims.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Despite the fact that although it wasn't the best financial deal for the victims, it was the best financial deal that they would get and that they agreed to, because they knew this would fuck over Alex Jones, basically.
Right.
It was a bit complicated, but basically The Onion guaranteed to give the victims the most amount of actual cash. So that was, it was all legal shenanigans, and Alex Jones.
From there, it seems that they worked things out. And what has been purchased now by what's called Global Tetrahedron or whatever is the name of the
I think that's the name.
Which is just The Onion, the guy that owns The Onion. And they did Pablo Torre did an interview with him the other day. It was kind of had an exclusive breaking the news kind of interview with the guy from The Onion, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Gave me a little bit of a like maybe good things can happen still. Alex Jones is upset. He's pissed off. He's lost his fucking his brand name. They're gonna keep going with Alex Jones Show or whatever the branding, and that's just not gonna hit the same, I don't think. But yeah. So The Onion now has let's check it out, because they got the website up and it's kind of neat. The Onion.
I think one of the things The Onion should do is hire somebody called Alex Jones to present one of their shows.
I was thinking that like in one of the last days that he was on, he was just shirtless in the studio, just kind of hovering around the guy that was sitting at the desk presenting information, fake information. And Alex Jones is probably drunk, and he's just like hovering around him with no shirt on. And I was like, they should just hire him. The Onion should hire him to do that and never give him a microphone. Don't let him say anything, but just like kind of walk around the studio with his shirt off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or employ an Alex Jones lookalike to just sort of do it. Make him look as ridiculous as he is.
Let's see here. Okay, InfoWars. There's a war on for your mind. You guys know that? You might not know that.
Ooh.
And so apparently Alex Jones did not know what The Onion was until the other day. So like Monday.
Oh shit. That's funny.
It truly is. And okay. InfoWars. Is this the right one?
It's the one I found. It's the one I've. Oh yeah, you're sharing my screen. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm looking at this trying to get a vibe off it.
What? Let me make sure that I got the right one because they
Yeah.
But I thought it was the same thing. I was under the impression that they were just going to take the actual location of the website. And
I don't know if it depends who I guess owns the URL now.
Here we go.
They could have. I thought the Onion had the URL, but maybe they did some shenanigans with that.
This is the right one for sure. Okay.
Okay.
Turn your piss into gold. Apply now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's definitely the Onion. I can see the InfoWars. Yeah.
So at long last, InfoWars is ours. And then he goes on to, write funny things. That's what the Onion does.
What? No, the Onion news is serious news.
Yeah. Someone in chat has scooped me as well. I was gonna break the news that they've made Tim Heidecker creative director of.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Did you not hear that?
No,
that was the big news. He's been out doing statements on it because he put out a video asking people what they wanted to see because he doesn't really know what to do with it.
Yeah, but he's gonna figure it out because that. God, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. It's better than perfect. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think his title is creative director.
Crazy.
Hang on, let me.
So a couple weeks ago, I don't know if you guys saw this, but a couple weeks ago, Tim Pool was in Austin doing a show for a week or something. You guys remember Tim Pool? The beanie.
Oh, you mean Dim Tool? Oh,
yeah. So it's he was doing a show in Austin, and Alex Jones just stopped by while they were live, and it was hilarious. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it's worth seeing a little bit of.
Yes, I did.
Some of the things he said are honestly just top tier, maybe even up there with chemicals turning the freaking frogs gay, levels of Alex Jones awesomeness.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
And it's the more or the less influential, the less relevant, and the more insane he becomes, the less fucked over he becomes, the easier it is for me to say that, man, he's just awesome. He's awesome. Not in any kind of good way, but in the way that's very entertaining. And I'm just, made nothing but bad things happen to him though, for sure. Here we go.
Is traveling the country. He's going from Florida to Texas.
Let me just fast forward so you don't spoil anything here.
Made obsolete by our own creation.
Indeed.
The argument. So when we come back, I'm gonna come back.
Come back whenever you want.
How long are you in Austin?
Couple weeks.
Here for South by Southwest.
We're not here for it, but we're here during it. One of the reasons I came down here is I was going to be playing poker at the lodge, and then the state shut them down. I'm pissed about it.
What's weird was I texted you a week ago. Somebody texted me and said, "Hey, Tim's here, come on the show." I'm like, "Am I supposed to be on your show?" Like, I don't know, but play poker. But
yeah, well, we want to do a poker game with you and a few other people. Not so much about poker.
Just to make it absolutely clear, there's no way he's not shit-faced.
Oh, dude, he's absolutely gone. I'm surprised he's conscious.
Yeah, he is. Jesus, he's barely getting those words out.
Either that or he had a lot of chili. Because there's that one time he was in court years ago, and this is for his kids and being a terrible father and stuff. And there was the wife or the ex-wife was kind of complaining via the courts that he had forgotten the kid's birthday or something, and his excuse was he had eaten too much chili that day. I shit you not. This is what he said.
Oh, dude. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Eating so much chili, they forget their kid's birthday.
Yeah, no. You get really shit-faced on that chili, Jesus.
I've just popped a LinkedIn chat to the Tim Heidecker story that's got the video.
Nice, thank you.
You want to bring that up next?
But about having fun, goofing off, and I think it'd be really fun to play a game.
I'm ready. But don't follow me at Real Life Shows on X, Infowars.com. We're getting shut down we beat so many attacks, but finally we're shutting down like the middle of next month.
Wow.
It's gonna be insane what happens. People can,
I mean, at least he's handling it well.
Sure, yes. Maybe a bit too much chili, but yeah. I mean,
yeah. So this is
oh my
God. Can anyone guess what the first question I would be asking at this point is? I mean,
so yeah, shout out to Sam Cedar. I'm not fast forwarding because I don't like Sam Cedar, just trying to get to the meat of the thing.
My first question to Alex Jones would be, how many fucking
Hold on, he's about to say the best part. So he started talking about Joe Rogan at some point. And I guess they got mad at Joe Rogan for some reason temporarily. You know how the MAGA is. They're like, they'll get kind of a little butt hurt for a week or so to each other and get over it.
Yeah. So
the
this
fake
is
receiverships, the fake auctions, all of it's happening right now.
So what are you gonna do? You're launching a new thing, or what are you doing?
Yeah, auctions now. We'll be fine.
All right. Well, are you leaving? Is that why you're saying all this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am exhausted, brother.
Well, it's good to have you.
Now this is 4 a.m. Unless you do a table dance for me.
No.
He's not on this table.
None of this. Yeah.
Maybe next time.
These things are probably like
yeah,
$20.
it's really not going to withstand anybody.
Oh no, these are okay.
Well, my wife over there.
Pull it off.
Maybe do a table dance.
You sound tired. You should look at
exhausted.
Have a nice rest, man.
Well, it's good having you.
That famous Tim Pool honest and directness right there, where he's just saying exactly what he really means.
You sound tired.
One thing I didn't notice from the first time I saw it is the very different skin tone between the two here.
Yeah.
It's like the two extremes of don't go out in the sun
and maybe don't fall
asleep
asleep in the sun after eating a bunch of chili.
Yeah.
No, he like in the video that I watched where the clip of it where he's shirtless in the studio from just the other day. Basically, he has the skin of a hot dog, of a cooked hot dog.
So most likely he had a 6-pack of chili and just passed out outside.
Yeah, or maybe he's eating a fifth of chili. We don't know.
Yeah.
Just a few shots of chili.
Yeah. Oh, those shots will get you. Those shots of chili.
Oh yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I mean, the Tim Pool is functionally that, in my opinion. I mean, it's even if he, they all serve the same fucking master of no enemies to the right. That's their motto, and so they try not to have them, and that means that they're okay with Nazis. But on a long enough timeline, all of the shit that they espouse on the right will lead to essentially no different than functionally Nazis.
The thing that gets me about all these Nazi types that are coming around now, and this is an eternal question, is why do people that think they're the master race look like that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you remember whenever those chats came out, from those guys that were like, oh, we're talking about gas and Jews and all this Nazi talk and stuff, and then you see them and you're like, whoa, okay. You definitely got beat up in high school. Not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying I can smell my own.
Yeah, lots of people bring up how Alex Jones is 52, which, so he's 8 years older than me, which doesn't seem right. But it's also worth noting, Stephen Miller is younger than me, which is like, I think hate ages you. I think.
Oh yeah. I mean, have you seen some of these? I don't even know if there's a picture going around that's supposedly Jeremy Hambley, I guess in high school or something. Comparing to what he looks like now. Is that a real photo? You know what I'm talking about?
As far as I'm aware, it's a real photo.
It is. I'll find that because holy shit, man.
You can tell it definitely looks like him. So if not,
the nose looks the same. That's one thing I've been able to identify as being pretty similar. So,
brother, just come back whenever you want.
We're gonna go for hours, right?
Yeah, we're gonna go for another 2 hours.
I want to.
Well, I mean, yeah, everybody knows you're a big hater. Nobody into it. And by the way, if you're free, you're welcome to hop on. I know you were expressing not an interest in talking about who or hearing about who last night, but if you feel like you wanted to get some more out, you're welcome. Just let me know.
Yeah, maybe Ant wants to talk about Alex Jones.
Come back.
You are allowed. That is acceptable.
Here for 2 weeks?
Yes, sir.
Oh, please.
Real shows on X. Gonna follow it.
Too late. They're there right now.
Alex, real Alex Jones on X. Did you get it?
But imagine
Nobody
a giant Joe Rogan pussy right up there, elevated,
like a jellyfish.
teleported up into Joe Rogan's vagina.
We gotta hear that again. That's peak Alex Jones, man.
Now, Alex, real Alex Jones on X. Did you get it?
But imagine a giant Joe Rogan pussy right up there, elevated,
like a jellyfish.
teleported up into Joe Rogan's vagina.
Let me explain this.
Yeah, please do.
So at the very beginning of this interview, remember the first thing Alex Jones says is something about Joe Rogan's supposed vagina, and what?
Real quick, we can cut back to him, but I'm not gonna lie. Like staring at Alex Jones right now in that interview, it's almost hypnotic because it's like it's the car wreck thing where you're just staring at a fucking car wreck. it's like what the fuck?
It's like he's the kind of guy that makes me think that you definitely makes me more confident in saying there's no God. There's just not. He wouldn't make something like this creature if he was any kind of loving God. Anyway, you know what I mean?
I always stand by what George Carlin said. Either there is no God or he does not give a shit.
Yep. Yeah. Speaking of Joe Rogan, did you see how he was just like right behind Trump the other day in the fucking Oval Office? It was kind of weird.
Yeah, it was. The Daily Show covered this, and I think they made, or was it Sam Cedar? I think it was Sam Cedar actually.
Probably.
Anyway, one of the political commentators, I apologize for not crediting you, but I can't remember which one you were. But it was because Joe Rogan has said a lot against Trump recently. Trump feels like he's losing his strongest soldier, and so basically, Rogan wants this psychedelic drug approved to treat PTSD of veterans, and so he went straight to Trump. Trump rubber stamped it without it having to go through.
Does he have any idea how much
tests.
Trump in the first administration and in this one has just completely fucking leveled the Veterans Administration, Veterans Affairs? Like just.
Oh yeah, but that's not the reason Rogan wants it. He wants it because he wants to get high off legal LSD.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're right. But it's just what a fucking piece of shit, man. All these people are terrible.
It's funny though, isn't it? Because I seem to remember there being someone, I can't remember who it is, but there was somebody who was really against how quickly the COVID-19 vaccines were approved and didn't go through the standard years of trials through the FDA. And you would have thought they would be deeply opposed to something like this being approved by the president without any sort of FDA testing. But I can't remember who it was that was so against the COVID-19.
He's Joe Rogan, so like he's all about just medical accountability and being really granular with the details and testing drugs and stuff.
Well, it's so many years of medical school that he did.
That's true. If you can't trust Joe Rogan's medical training,
have you guys seen that? There's a clip from a while back where what's his name? Brian Callen. He's a big piece of shit too. But like he was seemingly trying to mess with Joe on Joe's podcast, like fucking with him about, Joe's talking about vaccines or whatever being blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you don't know that, Joe. He's like clearly trying to antagonize him a little bit, and Joe Rogan got like, he got extremely pissed in a way, like it was not like over, like outwardly pissed, but just was shutting it down in a way I've never seen him do before. And it seems pretty clear that he's just, while as confident as he is about this stuff, he's also extremely insecure and doesn't want to be about it.
I mean, I think insecurity is a very common theme among the right wing.
Yep. I mean, I was listening to something talking about, I think it was last podcast on the left. They're talking about how conservatism is just inherently, when you think about it, a submissive ideology.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're submitting all the time.
Yeah.
They're submitting to hierarchy. You're submitting to the guy above you. Just it's kind of ironic when you think about how they've characterized anybody that's not them over the years.
I mean, one might say that conservatives are just a whole bunch of betas.
Yeah. I mean, bunch of bottoms.
Yeah. True.
Well, built into the conservative mindset is the cornerstone of hypocrisy. which means that anything they do is justified, even if it contradicts something else they do.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
the double standard is the only reason they have standards at all.
I know a long time ago it came up about the cognitive dissonance they all must be suffering from, where they have to keep two opposing ideas in their heads that simply just won't gel. Things like Donald Trump being the peace president, the no new wars president, and then starting a new war. And yeah,
They're power bottoms. You're right.
Yeah, it's just incredible that they can keep those sorts of things in their mind and be like, no, it's fine when he does it. It's like, well, bend over then, because that's all you're doing.
Before we move on from Alex Jones, I just want to read like a small excerpt from this InfoWars website here. So imagine an arena packed to the rafters with pathological liars. High above you in the nosebleeds are podcasters screaming that you'll die if you don't buy their skin products. Below, on the floor, imagine demonic battalions of super influencers physically forcing people into home fitness devices designed to dismantle your body bone by bone and reassemble you in a grotesque statue of yourself. Out of the throngs, an extremely sick-looking man approaches you. He puts his hands on your shoulders. He explains that he's your life coach and that you owe him $800. Such is the InfoWars I envision, an infinite virtual surface teeming with ads, not just ads, but scams, and not just scams, but lies with no object. Free radical misinformation, free radical misinformation, sentences and images so poorly thought out that they are unhealthy even to view for just a few seconds. The InfoWars of old was only the prototype for the hell I know we can build together. A digital platform where every day visitors sacrifice themselves at the altars of delusion and misery, their minds fully disintegrating on contact. With this new InfoWars, we will democratize psychological torture, welcoming brutal and sadistic ideas from everyone, even the very stupidest among us. It will be like the Manhattan Project, only instead of a bomb, we will be building a website. So that's going to be fun. Keep your eye on that. You know what I'm saying?
If you click on the if you click on the link in the private chat, it's got the video from his Instagram of Tim Heidecker. I don't know if you want to play that.
Also,
the other thing I want to say about that clip of Tim Pool and Alex Jones is, if you watch it again, it reminds me of like having a conversation with somebody who's drunk at a party when you're completely sober and you're just desperate to get away from them and they will not go.
Yep.
You can. There's a few hints like when Tim Pool says, "Oh, are you going?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Well, I mean, and I was about to say that, and also, whenever I've been in that situation, there's also often a worry of like, are they going to be okay if they leave? Like, do they have a way to get home safely? But I doubt that Tim Pool or any really conservatives at all are thinking about the well-being of other people around them. So,
but we were talking about double standards, and I remember this that I found earlier. This is double standards, and in my opinion, this is actual TDS.
Mm-hmm.
I'm voting for Trump because I want low inflation, free speech, and low gas and energy prices, low food prices, low crime, no wars, a secure border, and he will put America first like he did last time.
Oh,
2 years later. I didn't vote for lower gas prices, though it would be nice. I vote for brass balls, and I'm perfectly happy. Yeah, these people have no standards. They just say whatever the wind tells them.
Yep. It's a cult.
Yep.
That's what it is. Here's this video. Let's see.
Hey, everybody, I got some breaking news for you. It's looking very likely that global tetrahedron will seize control of InfoWars in the coming days. The folks at Global Tetrahedron have asked me to step in as to run the show over there and become a big part of the future. So we're exploring. Sorry. My name is Tim Heidecker. I'm just here to let you know that I am now in charge of InfoWars. It's an honor to take over the reins and chart a new path towards the future. We're looking forward to relaunching the site soon in the next coming months, and we're not really sure what we're going to do with it. We're talking about all sorts of ideas. We were playing around with it being a real estate broker service or a cryptocurrency exchange market, a place to store pictures, most like a Dropbox account. Not sure, a lot of ideas, but very excited to take this on, and just want to wish everyone, extend a hand of friendship and grace as we proceed through this process. It's not going to be easy, but I can assure you that we have our best intentions in mind. We are in the city of brotherly love, and I want to extend that sentiment to all our friends over there, longtime fans and consumers of the InfoWars products. Got some exciting products coming as well. We're working with a company that will enable you to turn your urine into gold. So stay tuned for more information about that. And
like a good
stay
deal.
with us. Stay updated on InfoWars for more information as this story develops.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
I'm gonna look into that piss and gold thing. Could use a couple bucks, really.
Yeah, I'm gonna put aside some of my piss just in case.
I mean, I do anyway. So
yeah, get a good backlog.
For me. I've got jars and jars. No, speaking of jars and jars or peeing in weird places, Jeremy Hambley seems like he's not coming back from it. I don't think things have gotten any better for him since last week. But the thing is that the thing he was doing, the thing he did that really got people mad at him, which was filing copyright strikes. Apparently it was in the air,
Yeah. Apparently there's that vibe going around.
Yeah, it's weird when you're on a stream with somebody talking about how awful it is what the quartering's done and how it should never be done by left or right, and then that person that same day does it.
I'm hoping that most everybody that's interested in this topic, if you're just coming here and it's the first you're really hearing of the backstory, you're making an error there. You should go to Ant's stream from yesterday and just listen to that. But I guess the summary would be that Otterly Noah apparently was motivated. The artist who created his otter art or whatever to file a copyright strike against a channel that's Chud's apparently. So I mean, not like no tears lost from anything, but like, let me put it this way: me and Bob and Ryan as well, we've all had Chuds coming at us. Me and Bob probably more than most anybody that's considering our channel sizes anyway, not being that huge at all. But like I've never even considered and they've said some atrocious shit about us, like shit that's absolutely untrue, that actually, but it's still fucking, that's the point of it is that it's supposed to rile us up, and it has. They pissed us off. They fucking got us like, fuck this, man, this is fucking like everybody saying this shit, let's but like that was never, at least I don't think you probably didn't consider it either, right, Bob?
Well, copyright strike? No. It's not like it's lies, but that's not a copyright strike. That's
and I mean I'm have in the past rubbed elbows with a man named formerly called Mundane Matt, who will tell you what it's like to be the guy doing a bunch of false flagging of channels and stuff, and how that works out for your career trajectory and social standing. Not well. And so it just wasn't. It's not anything I would have considered. And nonetheless, Noah influenced his artist to go and file one against this channel because the art that they created was in the thumbnail.
Yep. They were talking about Otterly Noah, used his thumbnail, and then just said, "Oh yeah, that's a copyright strike," which it isn't. It isn't at all.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Jesus Christ, Lily Orchard.
Yeah.
So it's really fun. Look, Eric July hasn't even copyright struck us. You know what I mean? Like when you're doing stuff that, and look, he didn't do it himself. To be clear, that almost is kind of what makes it worse in a way, because it seems like he definitely wanted it done, but didn't maybe want to do it himself. which is just real weasel behavior. Because correct me if I'm wrong about any of this, Ann, or anybody that hears me say something incorrect. The artist is not like a YouTuber or public person, right?
As far as I'm aware, that's the case. Yeah.
So this is him, and whenever you file a copyright strike, the name of the person that files it comes up in the report that the other person gets. You can see.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps to go back to sort of basic steps for anybody in the audience who doesn't know the ins and outs of YouTube. Anything you put on YouTube, if it's original material, you own the copyright for it. If you use somebody else's material, then you either have to have the license to do that, or you have to be able to prove that it is not subject to copyright through various different rules.
For example, so in the last year and a half or so, there's a bunch of like instrumental rock music that I've purchased the rights to use from a YouTuber that makes some music that's kind of cool, and I like having original music when possible. And all that's been on multiple videos and streams for over a year. Then something happened like in the last 2 weeks, and every single one of them started getting labeled as a copyright claim. That is different than a copyright strike, but what it does is it says this has been identified as someone else's content, and so any money you make on this video or stream is actually going to be shared with that person.
And a copyright claim is basically the first step to protect your copyright. Because
it usually doesn't go any further than that. A copyright claim is like in most cases, it's if somebody's really older people are the ones that tend to get really upset about somebody using music or clips or whatever, and like studios sometimes, but not really all that much.
Weirdly, I had a copyright claim come in as we started this stream from Universal on one of my Rockford reviews from season 1, which was over a year ago. I mean, I'm on season 5 now, so obviously they're doing something, and they've claimed that because I have used images and audio from the TV show, and so Universal have submitted a claim because they do own the copyright to that footage now, and that's what most film and music YouTubers will find, because YouTube has an automated system that flags it if you use more than 5 seconds.
Well, I got that. I emailed the guy and I told him what's happening, by the way, and he like within a few hours he had it set, and I suddenly started getting emails saying that the claim was released on your. And I was like, great, that worked out. But like, so a strike is actually you can only get 3 strikes on your channel, and everybody knows what happens with 3 strikes.
And strikes tend to be if you from a legitimate company, like if I had uploaded a whole episode of the Rockford Files just as is, and Universal, they might claim it at first in good faith, but they might also strike it, and it's well within their rights to strike it because I had no right to upload it.
So
I was gonna say the one time I've used the copyright system is when somebody was literally just uploading clips of me, and I didn't have like some friend do it. I did it. My name's on it.
There was some minor chud demon that literally just like uploaded almost a whole stream of mine, and he said a few things about it. He said like something about like at the very beginning, and then just the rest of it was just my video or stream or whatever. And I was like, "Fuck this, dude! Come on, I can't, And I don't even know if I don't think I struck it. I think I just claimed it. I don't remember. But he then got mad at me and started raising a stink about it. And eventually, not whenever he asked me to, because I wanted to let him sweat a little bit, but eventually, a couple weeks later, I released it.
But yeah, like especially if you look at my older content, I use movie clips a lot. Yeah, I'm used to the claim system.
And there's nothing wrong with striking a legitimate claim. If, like I said, if I uploaded a full film or music video or song and I got struck, I'd hold my hands up and say, yeah, I knew what I was doing was wrong. And then if you do it 2 more times, like you guys have said, they take your channel away. No ifs, ands, or buts. And obviously, like you were saying, with this artist, if you're not on YouTube, doesn't mean you can't claim something, because I could be watching a video and it could be something of mine. Like they could use a piece of art or a photograph that I've taken and just post it, and I could perfectly legitimately strike that if there was no fair use.
Yeah. Well, so that's also just to say that like it's, and by the way, if there's one thing that as far as ethical behavior on YouTube that people like us and people like the chuds we talk about have in common, it's kind of just this. that like that's not something you do.
Yeah.
You do that,
I mean,
kind of like ruining your reputation. It's like, just not fair play.
I mean, a lot of us have to deal with copyright strikes from these big corporations, and they are a pain in the ass. So you really want to limit how often you force just random people to do it, unless they're just doing a blatant violation. Because we all know it's just a giant pain in the ass.
Yep. So, and once you start doing that, you kind of just out yourself as being like pretty thin-skinned and like desperate to. And by the way, the thing that I mean, I don't know. The more details you learn about this, the more fucked up it gets, and the worse it looks for Otterly Noah. Just so you know.
Mm-hmm.
Ant's stream, once again, I suggest you watch that if you want to know everything. He started by the framing was brilliant, by the way. Ant, you started by showing the screenshot of him giving the the instruction and encouraging the artist to do this, and then everything that you showed after that, in the context of that first thing. It was only like, oh God, really? What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like,
mm-hmm.
So just showing that he then later posted saying, I don't remember the details, but it was a lot of. I've got one.
Because a lot of the people that have covered this, they're going by the sort of, I don't know, people get in his head how you structure like a story. And you always do the reveal at the end, but that's not the case. And I think Ant was smart enough to show the reveal at the beginning, show this is the evidence from the beginning, to make sure that people had it in their minds throughout that this is what Noah had admitted to, and he had on his DMs he had told his artist how to copyright strike somebody that had used one of that artist's images in fair use, and I think it's quite clearly fair use. And obviously the artist doesn't know this. I mean, very few people actually know very much about copyright law at all, because it's
well, so that's one of the reasons I wanted to talk about it, because
so real quick, start a YouTube channel, you'll start learning about real fucking things.
Yes. So and you can tell. All right, so Saltier Than Crate, the not Tread one on Reddit, has been mostly pretty kind to us here and there, and people that do what we do, which makes sense, because that's really all they do there is talk about chuds and criticize chuds and stuff. We've also criticized that culture of that subreddit here and there, because they sometimes, like for a while there, they were just thinking that Eric Debunks was actually a chud based on his thumbnails and nothing else, because they weren't watching the videos or anything. They're just looking and go, oh, he's doing a satirical. They don't realize he's doing a satirical thumbnail kind of thing, right? He was doing what chuds do, and they were just like, oh, this, and so that kind of thing is like, come on, dig a little bit deeper if you're gonna have something to say about it. But nonetheless, I was looking at Ant's post about this whole thing and the replies to that, and some people had some fucking dumb, weird takes about this, and that was like, yeah, it's kind of frustrating, because some of it was like, didn't see the point. Why did Ant post about this? Why does Ant care about this? It's not a big deal, right? Was part of it. And it's like, okay, are you not reading? Or are you not like kind of comprehending what you're reading? I don't know. And then some people had the weird take that just, well, we shouldn't, who cares what happens to a chud? Who cares if you did that to a chud? It's a chud. They're fascists, they're evil fuckers and stuff, like, so just whatever works kind of thing. And I was just like, I think that ends justify the means logic is kind of partially what makes a chud.
Yeah.
So I don't agree with that. Yeah, apparently so. And I want to, if you haven't watched Ant's stream yesterday, you should. But shout out to Ant, because look, Ant took time. He's a new father. Okay, he's got family. He's got his own shit to do, his own content to make. And whenever Noah was, caught a few months ago doing, plagiarizing content, Ant graciously offered to kind of help him. Maybe I think all of us were generally like, oh, he doesn't actually understand what plagiarism is.
Yeah.
And we wanted to believe that that was just a sincere, ignorance, that like, okay, it's not really a sin, but like, we should maybe help him out. That's kind of partially what we started coming together to do a few years ago with this, bringing our types of folks together, is like, we can help each other out. Right. And Ant took it upon himself, like a champ, to offer to read his scripts, help him make sure he's citing sources and stuff. And then he didn't even seem to really appreciate that.
Well, I don't know. I found the whole thing kind of bizarre. My knowledge of it is very secondhand, but like the whole thing was kind of bizarre. I wasn't exactly sure what he was getting in trouble for plagiarism, because it's like, if you're showing video clips, as long as you're commenting on it, I think that's fine. But like if you are like just borrowing segments from scripts and shit like that, that's where I'm like, don't fucking do that.
Well,
Fuck that.
I mean, it's a bit of a difficult one, because like you said, it could have been an honest mistake that he didn't realize that he was basically doing what Summerton and a lot of those other plagiarists were doing, in that he was taking other people's scripts and then rewording it slightly. I mean, the fact that he wasn't even clever enough to reword it in his own words, which is something you get taught at least in school over here. I don't know what it's like
it's kind of
certainly by the time you get to university. But of course, if you don't have a university education, then and you might not be aware of plagiarism, because plagiarism, certainly when I was in school, wasn't an issue. Different now maybe with the internet, but plagiarism just wasn't an issue in school. They didn't really care about it too much, unless it was.
Well, now there's some of the stuff they're enacting now, like to filter for AI scripts and stuff like that, is pretty crazy. It's yeah.
And
anyway.
The other thing to say as well is that plagiarism is not against the law. It's not a legal standard. It's an ethical standard within academia, and that most YouTubers, with some exceptions, have adopted as being the standard. It can become illegal if you breach copyright, as we've previously discussed, if you are stealing in that way.
My analysis of what the Noah's deal was after this plagiarism thing originally was, okay, he kind of started making content, it seems like, and he blew up quicker than he expected, and he's kind of got stuck really fast in the I have to get content out, and he started taking shortcuts and making, doing stuff that he maybe wasn't thinking through the ethical standards and didn't know any better. Maybe that was me, I think Ant and everybody generally was hoping that's what the case was, and just erring on the side of, all right, he made a mistake. We don't actually, believe it or not, want to just cancel everybody who makes a mistake that there's no direct harm, really. It's like, if you can learn and do better, that'd be great. So but after some of the ways that he's responded after this thing, I think he's kind of just maybe a shitty guy. Sorry.
Yeah, because 100% on the plagiarism issue, but I think where I missed due diligence, because I do like to research the people that I deal with. I didn't realize how old his channel was and how much success he'd already had before he started doing the anti-woke content. Now, I didn't really delve into the start of his channel and the stuff he was covering then, and I should have done, because I usually do that with other people. He already had a level of success, well beyond me.
It's kind of like Bob.
Yeah. Well, everybody has got a level of success way beyond me, but he'd been fairly successful, and clearly none of this plagiarism and stuff had come up before, and nobody's been able to go back beyond the Chud stuff, or his anti-woke grift content. So I don't know that it wasn't a recent thing.
Well, so we had him on Shillcast months ago. I think I was maybe the one that was like, you should get this guy on. And
I wanted to bring him on too. And
he was on, and it was fine. He had a good time and stuff. But I can't think of it. I'd have to go back and watch it and listen again. But there was a couple of moments where we were talking about something, and I was like, kind of just not like super surprised, but just kind of like, that's interesting that he isn't aware of that specific thing. It almost seems like you would be, in a way. You know what I mean? I can't remember.
Like if you'd actually studied this stuff, you would know.
Right.
But I know when we had him on the Shillcast, I felt a little bad because I wasn't even 100% sure if he would be there, so I didn't have it properly set up for him, because I kind of wanted to do an introduction to him, but it didn't. Then he just popped up. It was like, okay, well, we have a normal show to do. But I will also add that this is kind of an amendment to the plagiarism thing. I was willing to give him benefit of the doubt, and then he did the apology video, and just something about that just felt so insincere to me. Yeah.
I mean, like, so for the whole stream thing was fucking weird. As Ant, talked about this yesterday, and it was even weirder than I realized, and didn't realize until Ant explained it yesterday. So the stream, to address the plagiarism claims by, there's like 4 or 5 guys that he brought on a stream. His idea was to, let's go live today and I'll bring you on my stream and we'll talk about these. And it's just like, I mean, whether you think you might have done plagiarism or not, I just feel like that's not the wise move. You know what I mean? That maybe handle it privately and then decide to, depending on how things work out, you can kind of come out together and make a statement on it. I don't know. It just seems weird to immediately think to turn it into content, right?
And also that stream, it was really unproductive because they didn't know that much more about plagiarism than he did, to be perfectly honest. They knew enough more to and they could prove he was plagiarizing.
Yeah.
But some of their issues were he used a screenshot of a tweet, and the person that took the screenshot was complaining that was plagiarism. No, it's not.
No, that's just a screenshot. But
you don't own the screenshot.
The fact that he brought them onto the stream in the first place is kind of a big part of what it made me want to believe that he didn't know any better. So I'm like, if you thought you were plagiarizing, if you actually had any clue that you were doing it, you wouldn't do this, right? You would not bring these guys on and just ask them to point out where I plagiarized if you know you're plagiarizing, I would think.
I just wanted to, I'm kind of confused by this. I can't think of any, I haven't had any issues with Bird. I can't think of any of us having issues with Birdman, other than minor stuff that we all kind of have with each other.
The very
on this
beginning,
level.
which was the first thing you even said to him on Twitter was like, hey, because he put out his first grifter video, and he kind of doing his little cocky Birdman thing that at this point it's like, I'm glad he does it, but it was a bit kind of frustrating that he's like, there's nobody else out there doing this, so I guess I've got to do it.
Yeah, and it was like we've been doing it for a while, but I mean, the thing with Noah is that he always says that, and then even after he knows us and he's aware of us, and he still said that, and it's like,
well, and this is why it's I always say that it's people can be making similar content as you when it comes to this type of thing, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're coming from the same set of principles and ethics and stuff like that. So it's
no, it's plagiarism if they're pretty much just copying the script. Credit is meaningless.
It's not plagiarism. It's not plagiarism if you're quoting somebody.
Yeah,
and
you can quote
that quote.
Yep.
That's pretty much it.
And I mean, you also, there's a level of, I feel like maybe this is just me, but there's a taste components. Like, you don't want to just use a giant chunk of what somebody said, even if you cite them. And I feel like, that's a little bit tasteless, a little bit lazy.
And I also think it's wild that he seems to be friends with Kino Flex of all people, who is,
look, I mean, we're not here trying to find the person that people are going to invite to our weddings or anything. When it comes to this, we kind of have to take a diversity of tactics and accept it, as long as they're not, and this is what this represents. The reason I want to talk about this partially is because 3 years ago, there was no mechanism, there was no organism of anti-grifter YouTubers to deal with this. So a lot of people on Reddit and whatnot, or a few anyway, I've seen them saying, "Oh, this is so terrible. This makes our side look so bad and stuff." And I'm like, I mean, no, it gives the chuds an easy thing to talk shit on, for sure. So they can paint us all as being terrible because, well, one guy plagiarized and then he also did this other shit, false claims, and then they, the left is eating itself, all that kind of stuff. But they're gonna say that shit about anything. So ignore that shit. What this actually is fucking awesome, in a way. I mean, no, it's not ideal that it happened, but a community of people large enough is gonna have somebody fuck up at some point. What matters is how is that handled.
Yeah,
and I have to fucking salute Ant, because he handled it fantastically. He not only addressed it, with receipts, he held himself accountable. I think maybe a little bit more harshly than he even deserves. But he's like, he pointed out how he was a link in the chain of events that led here, where he could, if he had just made a different choice 3 months ago or whatever, but can't can't really waste a lot of time thinking about that. I think he made the right choice then, based on the information that we had. I supported him doing that. And it's just fucking actually really encouraging to me to see that this loose organization, loose association of people that kind of have the same motive to like clean up our fandom and YouTube in general and stuff like that, and help teach people to protect themselves, help teach people to be more media literate, help get people thinking in healthy ways and social ways instead of unhealthy and antisocial ways that YouTube was. I think we all know, if you've been on YouTube for several years, think about what it was like 5 years ago. There was a wasteland. There was nobody really that was like pushing back against these guys. Nobody wanted to, well, except for me. It was me and Turf Nation, and then it was Bob, and then
and then I stumbled into it like an idiot, and I was just like, "Wow, these guys are really fucking bigoted, aren't they?"
So what I'm saying is that like this to me shows a sort of movement, I guess, if you want to call it that has now become self-sustaining, and it's produced organic leaders that are not official leaders, but I think that's what Ant has shown that he is in this case. He is an exemplar. He's stood up and said, "Wait, no, we have to draw a line here. Fuck this." and I trust Ant implicitly. And like, so whenever he, told us the other day about what was going on, I kicked Noah right out of the fucking server that he was in with us, because I was like, "Oh,
you kicked Ant out as well, but that was for different reasons." That's because told you smelled.
Right.
And then real quick, like, yes, it can be plagiarism if you fail to cite sources. I guess I wasn't clear. The comment felt like it was saying that's only what plagiarism is, and no, that's.
And yet, to answer absolute credit, he's probably become, him and the Birdman have become the figureheads for a lot of the Chud hate now.
Yeah.
And they both deal with it in different ways. Birdman, it's like water off a duck's back, if you'll pardon the pun.
Yeah, but Birdman's still kind of he's good doing his I guess you could say his Raphael Wolverine kind of approach to things. Like, yeah, he's kind of on the same team, but he's not going to play by any rules.
But I think Ant takes a lot more personally because of his personality, and the Chuds are always going to be looking for ways to take people like Ant and Birdman down, anything that they do. And so associations like this, which Ant did nothing wrong with, they're going to use it as a stick to beat him with, because they were absolutely salivating over this news when Otterly Noah got found out, because he had covered them. But they'll all move on.
EFAP is loving it.
Yeah, I was about ready to say EFAP is the one I've seen as
I saw one
covering
I'm like,
him.
no, I can't do this anymore because I agree with Mahler right here. I don't like it. You know what I mean? Like,
I brought up my Chud Watch page, and I see Otterly Noah allegations are insane with Mahler, and then I see EFAP hunting the griftly rat. Otterly Noah, a cautionary tale.
And let's be quite clear about this. They're not insane. This ridiculous hyperbole that has infected every aspect of our lives, they're not insane. The quartering did much worse a few different times.
Right.
The plagiarism stuff, a lot of people have done it worse, James Summerton being one of them. Internet Anarchist, who was found out over Christmas and has just ignored it now and gone back to producing videos. So there's plenty of people out there who have done worse. I mean, all the shit that the quartering was doing before this was bad.
Yeah.
But he was firmly on their side.
Yeah, they don't actually have any ethics except for that's what the only thing they legitimately care about is their money. So whenever the idea of someone threatening their channel with a strike, that's like anybody else, you're like, hey, that's they're not thinking about that's my creative outlet, like is partially what we would think, but we would also think about the money if we make any, but they're just thinking about the money. That's how I lie to a toxic audience and make money off of them. So you can't fuck with that.
I mean, I did bring up the Chud Watch, my Chud Watch channel, and at the top is Nerdrotic, and like I think an argument can be made that like AI is a form of plagiarism at this point, and like he is just leaning so fucking hard into it. Like these thumbnails are pure fucking AI slop.
Right. So when you were like, what day was that last night on your stream? And like, what day? And I was like, no, don't tell me it was the same fucking, it was literally the same fucking day that he was, telling the artist to do this. And then also earlier, I don't know the timeline of it, but on stream criticizing Hambly for the same shit. It's like, and that's the kind of thing right there. That's like, this is not just a mistake. This is not just, oh, I was kind of ignorant or made a silly error or whatever, because you can see several instances where Noah was knowingly deceiving or manipulating people to try to, make this turn out a best form, I guess, or trying to make it not turn out as worse as it could have. Something, I don't know. He's trying to manipulate people, and I guess he just doesn't realize that screenshots exist. I don't know, like it's there's this one right here. So, and once again, you got Kinoflix on the right side of things. That's not good, in this context anyway. So he posted this stuff. I don't know if you shared this last night, Ant, but I didn't see it because I was cooking and doing other stuff when you were all streaming. So this right here is like, what the fuck? He literally told Deus, told Deus to ignore Callisto's emails, despite the fact that he told Callisto to email Deus.
Jesus.
Like, what the fuck is it? Like, if you're gonna try
God, that's gross.
Fucking manipulation shit, you got to be smarter.
This is purely manipulative as well.
Yes,
because you're talking to somebody who doesn't have a YouTube channel, so doesn't know the sort of the ins and outs of it, and trusting Noah to give them the true facts, and then Noah throws them under the bus immediately.
I mean, I would argue that the whole thing was predicated on he put the artist out in front of him as the shield without them even realizing that that's what he was doing. I mean, he was hoping that maybe if anything happens out of this, if I can get them to do it, then, maybe it was even depending on the fact that they're not a YouTuber and wouldn't know any better.
I mean, it's wormy, it's cowardly, it's gross.
And honestly, this is, to me, this is worse than the copyright strike. Because as bad as as sort of beyond the pale the copyright strike thing is for any of us, we wouldn't do it. We wouldn't expect it to be done to us. To then prey on somebody and manipulate them into doing your bidding, and then acting as if it was all them, and that while in the background you're coaching them to do stuff against their best interests to protect you. That's worse.
I mean,
trying to make this defense. I haven't.
I haven't seen him use this as a defense.
Because look, I'm literally on the spectrum as well, and so no, you that's not an excuse for really anything. But not this. Sure, this is this is cowardice, is what it is, and it's just
what it also is proof that he knew it was wrong.
Yeah,
he knew. You did it anyway.
Yes, and those of us who are autistic do know right from wrong. You can't blame that on the autistic.
That's true. Yeah. So technically, by him, having agreeing to have Ant, help edit some of the scripts and stuff and look over them. And then, by the way, so like I know that at least the one time, because I remember you kind of being frustrated about it, understandably. He sent you the script, right, for a video, and you didn't even really get too far into it because of what a fucking structural mess it was. And then he like put the video out anyway before you even really gave him full feedback or something, like the next day or some shit. And
I did see a thing where it's like he was trying to get the proofread the video, and then Noah was like, "Yeah, I told my audience I'd release it tomorrow," and it's like,
yeah, that's it. And
have you ever like? What are you doing? Editing, like proofreading a video, recording it, editing it in a day? That's intense. And I guess, if it's a shorter video, sure, but like a lot of these like essays take a goddamn minute to get put together.
If you're I mean, basically it's just disrespectful. It's absolutely disrespectful of, like I said, Ant's a new father. He's got shit to do. And yet he's taking time to help out like this, and you don't even have the fucking appreciation to just go, oh, I should hear what he's got to say, and not just go ahead and charge through with cranking this crap out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm willing to bet that the fact that he was approaching, covering some of the worst, shittiest people on YouTube, and you know, there's points in that. I think I've already praised him for that in comments and stuff that I really ever need to do, but you know, it doesn't make you okay. It doesn't give you a green light to cut corners like this, or to use other people to your advantage like this, or whatever. It's just, I don't know.
I know when I was doing my at the movies videos, I had a plan on getting it together. I always fell behind on the plan. I would frequently pull all-nighters. I definitely, like when my at the movies videos were bringing in more money, I definitely cut my work hours so I could put more time into that, because they took a lot of time to get put together.
I will say this: when you described what his scripts look like, you know what? If he has a problem with it, he can come back on stream and fight it out with me. It reminded me a lot of Turf Nation scripts. So, Turf, I'm calling you out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's going to get him to come back.
I don't.
No, it's not.
I mean, I've gone over screen scripts before. They're a little sloppy, but like, I mean, there was no
formatting. It's problem. Just like with
yeah.
He didn't use paragraphs or anything. It was just like one block of text.
Yep.
And I was like genuinely surprised that his content was so good, considering that
his content's really good, and it's one of those things where if he can read it, that's good. I know for me it was a bit of a chore to get through it, but then the video would be good. The video would
do that. I'm a
formatting as well. He was writing in his second language.
Sorry, what was that?
Turf was writing in his second language.
That's true, I guess. Yeah.
Everybody knows Norwegians don't use punctuation.
Right.
That is true. That everybody knows that.
He's Danish.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get into.
Oh, I see.
Wait, I thought you were Danish.
Yeah,
he's old Dane.
I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true. Generally, that's how I would feel about it. I think that Turf Nation kind of had his own way of doing it, that he was able to kind of not seem like that. But yeah, that for me personally, I cannot write that way and then expect to be able to read it or recite it in any coherent fashion.
So in case you're wondering, I went and got, these are a couple years old. Here's one of my old at the movie scripts. I usually broke it down, like if you watch those movies, I broke it down into segments. So I would have heroes.
Where's your citations, Bob?
On my opinions on movies.
Please.
Yeah, true. This is all plagiarism, but yeah, no. This is my Avengers versus Justice League, which was one of my more popular videos. Yeah, this is the script for it.
All right, big dick in it out here.
Yeah. But yeah, it took a moment to write.
How many
views
does it have?
At least 100,000.
Yeah, I mean, and another thing I wanted to say too is that so I started my YouTube channel with the express intent to go right at these fucking chuds, and I knew it was going to be a rough time in response. If just by telling the truth and by analyzing things, you know, with like some level of not objectivity inherently, you're like overall, but like just, you know, fairness, and it really analyzing things without being part of their agenda, and just wanting to not see fandom be a pool that's being shat in every day. That's how I approached it, and I knew I was going to get a lot of backlash. That's why I protected my identity, which is what ultimately led to me being demonetized, because I didn't even think about that when I created my channel. Like, oh, I'm going to need to verify my identity, so I just had a name that was yeah, and then it became a hassle later on for sure. Nonetheless, I sure, they've said things that have pissed me off. In particular, you know, was like a period whenever there was one channel, Garbage Woman was claiming that I was cool with groomers and stuff like that, which, you know, obviously is not true, but it was just the fact that they were really pressing on it and making content about it that I fucking, you know, really upset me. Nonetheless, I didn't fucking copyright strike the channel. And I just kind of eventually, at the end of the day, I just had to go, you know what? I knew some shit was going to happen eventually that would piss me off. And that pissed me off. But Noah seemed to just get pissed off that these chuds were partially because they were calling him a plagiarist. And it's like, well, you know, I mean,
that's don't, I guess just
I'll
don't
check
do
that
that. Don't do
That's what's weird about this, though, because he'd already sort of got over that hump. I mean, when the big news broke that he was plagiarizing, a lot of people made content on that, and then it went away. And just because some small channel then decides they want to cover it, why go after that channel? It's a bizarre choice, because so many others had covered him already. Including all the channels he'd had on his stream. So yeah, it was just, it was a series of very bad choices.
What the hell? So why is my fucking Adobe Acrobat not working? There it is. Okay. So this is apparently a script from Otterly Noah that I was just sent by Ant. And
intriguing.
Hold on, I haven't paid my Adobe bill yet, so they keep fucking popping up a thing every time I open something. It's like, hey,
I was planning on, since I wasn't really editing videos a whole lot, I was planning on postponing my Adobe bill, and they just yanked out my bank account. So I was like, oh,
yeah, they'll do that.
I guess I should start using this more. I guess I should start using
This is his apology script.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
You see, I couldn't even make weight. Like, I couldn't even understand my script if I didn't like do paragraph breaks. It's like, otherwise I just have no idea where I'm going.
Scope draft? What does that mean? Was he not sober when he wrote the first one? Tone change here and slight pause. Man, come on now. You're writing tone changes into your fucking apology script? That just seems a little weird, right?
Yeah. Maybe it's a weakness of my writing. When I'm writing a script, I usually just do that stuff instinctively as I'm reading it. What seems logical.
I mean, if you're talking about fucking Avengers movies or something, it's like, if you want to do it dramatic, like, sure. But like, I don't know, it just seems a little, if you can't apologize sincerely, I don't know that you really should be trying to apologize, because maybe you aren't actually apologetic.
Yeah.
That's,
Scripting your... No.
Squeeze a tear out of your eye at this point, kind of thing.
Yeah, I feel like Danny DeVito and Ruthless People putting that shit in your eyes to fucking make you tear up.
No, I mean, look, maybe, but like, that's what I'm autistic, and I, if I am not going to naturally, like, organically in a moment, express an emotion, I just don't. Just, like that can cut both ways, and sometimes it's gotten me in trouble. Sometimes it makes people think that I'm, stone cold or whatever. But sometimes I give away my feelings way too easily, because that's just who I am. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're not gonna be if I fucked up, and I know that I fucked up big time, and I was gonna write an apology or address it in an apology video, I would probably be a little bit emotional in trying to literally ask people to forgive me and trust that I'm going to do better and going forward, and all this stuff. Like, that's the kind of thing that will get me a little bit, kind of have a lump in my throat and maybe a tear in my eye if I'm, really fucked up or something.
Yeah. I mean, I can't speak for other autistic people. And certainly, as we've discussed, it is a spectrum, but for me, I can't tell what other people's emotions are. I know what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And I know what I should be feeling. Given certain triggers. So yeah, but
I legit think I would get emotional if that, because, like, developed a small audience, but one that I really am appreciative of, and a lot of people that been around since 6 fucking years now, and if I felt like I had betrayed their trust in some major way or whatever, then yeah, I'd legitimately feel terrible because I try to be accountable for myself, and yeah. So I would definitely not need to write in that I need to get emotional on cue or whatever, or the tone change rather. That's what it said, tone change.
Yeah.
Adobe Build Do. Yeah. The smoke detector of Adobe is going off in the background of the stream.
Oh no.
Beep. Oh well. So, and for I guess our part, I don't know that we are responsible for Noah, but I mean, we invited him a lot, as we do.
Yeah.
Almost anybody that we encounter that's making content like this, because it's not easy to get out there and start, criticizing these chuds. I don't realize ahead of time, or if you learned it the hard way, but they do make you pay for it, in some way or shape or form. And that's what, we came together initially to be, is like, stronger together kind of thing. We can support each other. We can help each other with resources. We do that. We communicate. We do quote reads. We commiserate, all this stuff. And then the other thing that I remember explicitly us talking about when it was me and you and Turf at the beginning, Bob, bringing us together, was that we could hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
And because I recognize that it's, when you're out here doing this shit on your own, it's entirely possible and even likely that you might fuck something up or step over a line or say something out of ignorance, or just kind of, whatever reason, like, I don't know, chunky monkey or something like that. And like, you need people that you can trust, that they're not actually
just for reference. We were discussing our favorite Ben and Jerry ice cream
flavors. Right, of course. What else would we be talking about? And there's a line in Iron Man 3. But
yes,
if I listen to every chud in my comment section over the years who was like, this is fucked up, you should, be ashamed, or that kind of like scolding kind of thing, then I would never make content ever again. I'd kill my fucking internet accounts and just go hide. Because that's part of one of their main tactics, is to try to moralize you, fucking come at you from that perspective and doubt yourself. And you have to, to a degree, it's like you kind of just have to shut it out. You have to, first of all, you have to know what your morals and ethical, standards are. You have to be very clear and have a clear idea of what those are in your own mind. And then better than that, it's to have people around you that share those with you and also are going to hold you that. So, that's plagiarism thing initially, but
yeah, you're absolutely right, because we are essentially, we're a support network, because some of the, and credit to the chuds, they never directly come after us anymore.
No.
But they
we got larger targets now, like
yeah, that's true.
I think Birdman is their favorite, but yeah.
Well, no, if you remember, EFAP refused to cover Birdman last time. He made a video.
That is true, but that's because they're fucking cowards.
That's because with Birdman's his approach to content, and I know it's not everybody. Sometimes it's not even my a favorite kind of thing, but like what I'd say is probably just true is that he doesn't leave a lot of any kind of. He's so direct and so just like, here's the point, here's the direct rebuttal, and that's really all I'm gonna say about that thing. Right. Whereas like Ant likes to, talk about media from his own perspective and like talk about his opinions and stuff. And that can, Chud sees on that kind of thing. Not saying it's not blaming you for it.
But mainly the support network is there because their fans are so vile.
Yeah.
They don't hold their fans accountable for bad behavior in the same way that we've always done. And just to make a point of that, I don't think anybody who's watching this should go after Noah on any social media.
No, don't go after anybody.
I mean, like somebody said something earlier about Noah not doing well, and I don't know if that's something or if you're just kind of speculating. But like, I legitimately hope that if this is causing some distress, which I imagine it is, then that Noah should just kind of sign off for a while.
Yeah, best case scenario,
we're going to do that, and yeah.
I think the best case scenario for him is to walk away, maybe not forever, but just take a break, reevaluate.
I
and
saw
then
that
come
he said
back.
something
That'd
like,
be optimal.
if he comes back to YouTube, that he would just mainly be talking about autism and movies, and that's probably for the best.
And I think, because I see that Ant's just posted that Noah's audience has been going after him. No audience should ever go after another creator based on this sort of thing, who they like or dislike in this respect.
The fact that he's got an audience that would do that, I mean, it's easy for me to say because my audience is far smaller than his, but like I'm pretty confident that my 8,000 or so subscribers, there's not going to be, I'm sure there's might be one rogue idiot that does something thinking they're doing a good thing in my name, but I've specifically stated many times, if that's something you feel the need to do, I don't want you in my audience. I don't want you watch my content because,
that includes you, Rags.
By all means, attack their arguments. If their arguments are false or misleading, by all means, say that you like or don't like their content based on those values, but never go after them personally, and unless they've done something really wrong. But even then, actually, sorry, let me just amend that. Even if they've done something really wrong, just don't engage with them.
Yep. I can promise you that Noah has gotten all of the feedback that is relevant at this point, that he's even going to leave himself able to absorb, and whether or not it does anything positive, it's up to him. Based on this, maybe he's not there yet, but hanging out with Kinoflex, not a good look.
No.
No, and I don't know if we want to go around on this one, but my advice to him would be like Bob said, take some time off, decide how you want to go on, because however he comes back is going to be a lot rougher than anything he's had so far if he does decide to come back. But if he does decide to come back, he needs to change the way he does it, and he needs to change his attitude. He needs to learn the rules, and he needs to stick to them if he's going to make content.
So what this tells me, coupled with like the fact that he felt the need to do the strike in the first place, or have someone do a strike for him, and apparently that's not the only time that's happened. I don't know the details of the other incident, but I feel like he's probably, and look, so many people have this as a thing that's not ideal. He's far too dependent on what other people feel about him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're too concerned what other people think about you, going into this debunking the Chud space, not the best idea.
Oh, he's completely ignored everything and rephrased what people are saying to his fans. Okay, well then it's a deeper rooted issue than maybe I was realizing. So that sucks. Nonetheless, we don't want any harm to come to the guy. I don't know.
Nope. I wish only the best for literally everybody.
I don't feel like look, he's got an audience willing to defend him, even if that is a terrible impulse to go after other people. That does mean that his content has meant something for some people, and I guess you can't take that away, if he's provided that. But I mean, I don't know. It sucks, man. It sucks. So somebody asked earlier, is there a way to filter, like, to prevent this from happening, to vet people? Yes and no. The way to vet it is to, like I was saying earlier, so whenever somebody comes on our radars, like a channel that's kind of making content like this, or they're newer or whatever, somebody will end up sharing it in our Discord, and then we'll generally kind of look at their content and see how they approach stuff. And first of all, we're not just going to invite somebody to come on the Shillcast and talk about their content, promote it, if they've made one video about chuds, right? Because that's usually not going to tell you a whole lot. It just means they made one video criticizing some chud. But I feel like it makes a pretty powerful statement if somebody has got, multiple videos where they deep dive and debunk chuds, and they do a good job of doing it. And it's like, okay, so then you can start to develop a sense of, they have media literacy, they have they're approaching this from some similar moral framework that we might share. That doesn't mean that you're going to share everything, obviously. And that's where it becomes like, okay, somebody could just be performing the having a sense of ethics and whatnot, and they might behind the scenes be doing some shady shit. And the only way that you can find out about that is just if you find out about it, right? You know, you have to take a chance on people or not. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, because we've found people that have made sort of anti-chud videos or people that disagree with them and looked into it and found that they've had some pretty mean things to say about the trans community or the gay community or if it's racist. So they might be right on one issue, but we still wouldn't have them on if this. But oftentimes it's not that obvious either. If somebody was streaming hours of content,
Dane, actually, let me. All Dane did was tell Khan what Eric July has said and done.
And the reason is, I actually am glad you brought this up, because this actually expressed
completely different situation.
My approach to content, the things that I criticize primarily, like first and foremost, is going to be stuff that can harm people, actual harm, right? Somebody calling what Noah a plagiarist or whatever, there's, you know, the shit they're saying, this doesn't harm Noah. He feels like it does. Knowing it's out there was harming his fragile ego, I guess. But until he felt the need to lash out about that. For me, I don't give a shit what people say about me. I don't give a shit about really anything unless I can see that this is actually harmful, right? And so Eric July has literally on multiple occasions spoken of committing acts of violence at a convention.
Yep.
So yeah, I
directly to me at one point.
When I found out that he was going to be at a con, I said, you know what? Maybe they'd like to know this. Now, was that trying to get him canceled? No. I mean, if that's the way you want to look at it, then sure. But like, you're not considering that this is a man who has made legitimate threats of violence about committing violence and carrying weapons, on the down low at fucking cons. And look, I actually care about comic book fandom and fandom in general, and those kind of spaces are very important to me. And I feel like violence and carrying weapons around and just looking for fights and stuff is the exact opposite energy, as well as just the potential harm that can come from that. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that they understood that there was a potential risk there. Did I want him kicked out? No, not at all. I just wanted them to know that it's possible this could happen. So, you know, if you want to think that's somehow a bad thing, it says more about you than anything else.
Like if you think just stating facts about a person is a bad thing, reevaluate.
Like, why
I don't know what else to say.
It's so terrible to just report to a convention, like some guys running a convention, that this guy has said things about his intentions at conventions. If I feel that those intentions are, contrary to what a con's about, it's weird that people get upset about that.
Yeah, I mean, literally one of the first things he said to Bob when they first spoke was a veiled threat that he would beat him up if he saw him at a con. I mean, he did it in such a way that he had plausible deniability with his fan base, but they all knew what it was, and we all knew what it was. We're not idiots. So,
no, I mean, I guess if you wanted to take the position that he was not serious when he said those things, okay, but then what is that saying about Eric July, that he repeatedly will make threats and, you know, not even veiled threats and talk shit that he won't back up and stuff like that? I don't know, that's on him too. So
let me put it another way. If the strike had happened before Noah had gone on the stream with Ant and I had seen it and I had said to Ant, look, this guy's coming on your stream to talk about the quartering strike and he's struck somebody, would that be the wrong thing to do, or would that be the right thing to do in those circumstances? I think it would be the right thing. It's not telling on somebody.
The person to criticize is the person who is now operating very differently for the most part than he was back then. I haven't heard him make any threats in quite some time. So I think that he eventually did realize that he needed to straighten his act up, because he's trying to, I guess, ostensibly run a fucking independent comic book publishing company or whatever the fuck it's morphed into now.
I mean, I've kind of reached an age where I'm at the point now where even if it's harmful, you're never in the wrong if you state facts, in my opinion.
Yep.
If you're just saying facts, that's good.
But we know that Eric July and his audience have a problem with facts. They don't get along really. So, anyways, You know, so like I said, hats off to Ant. He handled, I think, you know, I'll be honest, at the end of your stream, I was a little bit bummed. I was hoping that was just like the energy of having to go through all that stuff that had you feeling so, specifically the way that you did. But I kind of hated to hear that you regretted helping him in the first instance, because it could have worked out. And you know, I supported the idea based on the information we had that, you know what, let's try and help to get this guy, you know, on the straight and narrow, and probably do some more good in the world, kind of thing.
Yeah, when I heard about Ant helping him, my thought was, okay, I don't think it's good that he's plagiarizing stuff, but you know, maybe Ant will help him. Maybe he will evolve, because Ant is a really good content creator. He is good. So, you know, maybe he will help him out and he will evolve and he'll become better. That was my hope. That was
it was a completely different situation to other plagiarists that have been caught. I mean, I don't like to hark back to the guy, but again, different from the James Summerton thing, where he was doing it constantly, ripping off hundreds of people verbatim. This was a few incidences that was caught early enough that it could have been dealt with, and was. And in those cases as well, Noah was adding his own commentary. He was just not doing enough of it and not crediting the people that said it. So I think...
And then, it was mixed up in there with those guys also accusing certain things like screenshots of being, you know, and that's like, come on, man. I mean, if that's plagiarism, then holy shit, my channel is full of plagiarism.
Yeah.
So I know Ant regrets helping him, but it was the right thing to do, and I'd hope that he would help other people in similar situations where
it reminds me of like how you feel after you know, whenever, like, at least when I was younger and I would date somebody that turned out to not be a good person to have dated, and it's like, but you know, there was the good times, there was the good memories, there was the moments that seemed like, hey, this has a lot of potential and stuff, but then in hindsight, especially in the immediate aftermath of a breakup, it's like, God, what a fucking mistake this all was. But look back at, you know, enough times past, I'm like, it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't. It was, I'm glad that I took a chance on love or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and in the same vein, I don't think Ant should be regretful of having taken a chance on helping guide somebody that needed guidance. It's not your fault that he was not appreciative. Not your fault that he was maybe even more insidious with his motives and moves than we could anticipate.
I mean, quite frankly, it's insane that he didn't take more of Ant's advice, because if you've got a content creator like Ant who's producing such high quality on such a regular basis, I literally don't know how he does it.
That's what I said. I was like, hey, you know, I know he didn't really appreciate it. If you ever have any advice you just spat off to me, I will absorb it. And he was like, well, I can teach you about how to cite. And I was like, no, I actually know how to do that, because even though I didn't graduate college, whenever I started making content, I looked into it because it just seemed like a smart thing to do. You know, and actually my son, he's in 5th grade, and he's talking about how they're having to cite sources and stuff. And I'm like, oh, wow, shit. So, you know, I don't know. No excuse.
I mean, I will forever have the Harvard method burned into my brain thanks to my few years of university. And it's not something that everybody knows how to do, or that everybody, like, I think before I went to uni, I wouldn't have thought about necessarily citing every single thing I quoted. It's not something that would have occurred to me if it was like one line. But yeah, even a line of somebody else's. But yeah, like you said, Ant's a great resource, and we're lucky to have him producing content. And yeah, if he wants to do any book recommendations for anybody, I know he has done in the past, that sort of thing. How to write any things like that. Maybe there's a video in that for you, Ant. That's the one thing that when I first started, it would have really helped me, is the technical stuff, because I didn't have a clue. The first video I made, I had my iPhone pointed at me, no external mic, and the sound quality was appalling, as you can imagine.
We live, we learn, you know, as God wants.
Leftist audio.
Yeah. Well, what else do we have? Anything?
We've got a super chat. Someone has. I'm assuming that's Bob.
Super chat.
I don't know. Rebel Scum. If you guys get a chance, you should watch the Leviticus movie trailer. It looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
I've
I
never even
kinda-
heard of that. I've never.
No.
What is it?
Leviticus?
Oh, Leviticus. Okay. No, I haven't heard that either. Interesting. I need to watch the Clayface trailer for sure. I need to watch the Coyote versus Acme. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah. I'm trying to find a clip that would kind of be a good one to go out on real quick. Give me a second. But please speak in the meantime. What do you got going on, Ryan? On your channel?
Like I said, fighting a copyright claim from Universal. I'm hoping that this isn't due to the fact that they're producing new Rockford files, which means every single video I've made on the subject is going to get a claim over the next few months. But other than that,
gets frustrating.
yeah, I mean, the newer stuff I've been producing, I've been adhering to the 5-second rule more, so it makes it harder for them to get. But yeah, that's what I'll keep doing. It. I'm gonna finish the season. Last episode of season 5 review should be out this weekend, and then a little break, and then on to season 6. And that's about it for now. Yep, that's it from me.
Bob, what do you got?
Tomorrow we'll be doing trailer reactions. We'll be doing comic books, and we'll be doing Chud debunks. I don't have a time set, probably around 5 or 6, whatever I feel like doing. But yeah, that will be tomorrow. We got we got God, I hope this is better than the last one. Spider-Man, Superman.
Oh,
but yeah,
cool.
covering
Free
all
Palestine.
that stuff.
Absolutely. Here's this thing. It's kind of fun.
And yes, free
It's
Palestine.
out there before we get started. Any event that I happen to be at one of those, and you happen to be there as well. Let's just make sure that we link up and we kind of chop it up about kind of some of those comments. So you fat, out of shape, and you white. If I were you, considering that you ain't built for that level of action, I would not advise.
What is that a threat?
Never done anything athletic, and he talking sideways. Like I said, like he's got to see me anyway. Don't let me go to a con and his motherfucking ass is there. He has to see me. Right? I ain't saying I'm going to knock his ass out. He's like, is that a threat? Like, ain't nobody threatening you, motherfucker. We already know you can't whoop my ass.
Oh, wait. No, I forgot. He says that he's not threatening.
He says it's not a threat.
Yeah.
So
my
It's
bad.
not a threat that he can whoop my ass. But he can
Sorry. I fucked up, guys. Okay. My apology video is coming someday.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, we all know if you murder somebody, but as you're stabbing them, you say, I'm not murdering you.
Yeah.
Cops can't touch you.
Yeah,
Fact.
true. It's
Legal
no longer
fact.
murder at that moment. No longer.
Yeah, you just have to say that you're not doing whatever it is you're doing, and then you can't touch you.
Can't fuck with it. Did you guys know that Freddie Prinze Jr. is apparently a big Star Wars guy?
I had heard.
I actually haven't, but no.
Did you really not heard that?
No.
I mean, he did voice. I want to say Ezra, but that might not be right. In Star Wars Rebels.
His words, not mine. So you if you disagree with me.
Is this the perfect explanation of the Force? And did Freddie Prinze Jr. just spoil all future Star Wars stories?
The Force dictates who wins or loses based on balance. And here's the quick version on how to explain it to all these people who think they get to decide. In the first, if you want to do this like time-wise, Palpatine, you would say, and Yoda are the smartest too. Palpatine clearly smarter because Yoda was blind to the power of the dark side and the seduction of Anakin. So let's talk about the seduction of Anakin Skywalker for a second. If the Emperor is the smartest dude in the universe and knows that the Force dictates this, if he kills who he sees as a rival, Anakin, then he knows the Force is just going to correct that because the Emperor knows this. So instead of killing Anakin, what does he do? He seduces Anakin to double the strength of the dark side. So then what does the Force do? It balances us. How? It gives us twins, Luke and Leia, 2 and 2. balance. And if you look at the movie through just that simple perspective, you will not only know why every single bad guy loses and every single good guy loses, you'll know who's going to win and lose in the next fucking movies.
Very passionate.
I never thought about that, but okay.
It kind of makes some sense. I'd have to kind of like, write it out and make a chart, but yeah.
Kanan in Rebels, thank you. Yeah, he voiced the character of Kanan. Yeah, it's really interesting.
And so there's a currently some, I don't know if you've seen any of these judges that Trump's been trying to appoint and any of their hearings, their confirmation hearings, but this one I thought was pretty notable and relevant to, the content we've often criticized.
Sexual favors or committed any verbal or physical harassment or assault of a sexual nature?
No.
Have you ever faced discipline or entered into a settlement relating to this kind of... By 2024, you wrote a post on Breitbart endorsing a Missouri Attorney General candidate. Do you recall that post?
I do, Senator.
So in that post, you wrote, quote, Republican attorneys general are critical in the fight against the radical left. We need true conservatives to defeat the abortion industrial complex, the lawlessness plaguing blue cities, and the woke ideology invading our schools, end quote. Can you define the word woke?
Senator, I was very proud to support my friend who was running in that election. That was a piece of political advocacy, and as I was explaining to one of your colleagues earlier, the partisan views or political activity I've had before would play no bearing on my role as a judge.
First of all, I thought you had to be older than 12 to be a judge. Second of all,
true.
Bullshit. I call bullshit. Just
well, I mean, I would also note that's not a definition of woke.
Or it's a really weird one.
And he doesn't ever give a definition for woke, as
can't.
In true Chud fashion, he cannot define the thing that he's so confident is
the word he uses, like every other or every other word. He can't define it.
We don't need to watch the rest of him filibustering the whole thing, but essentially he doesn't define it because they never can. And the only time that they legally had to, they just defined it as anything that's not MAGA, basically. So cool.
So woke is left of Nazi. Got it.
Let's see. Still working on getting some backlogged On Your Left episodes going. We will have some of those ready to start dropping before too long. Subscribe over to on official Modern Audience if you don't mind, please. And like the stream, whatever channel you're watching it on, just feel them. You could also go to the Show Clips channel. I forget to fucking promote that one. Show Clips channel. There's clips over there. Go watch them. Lots of anti-chud content. Various folks. Shout out to everybody. All the peeps. Eric DeBunks. Ant. I was about to say Otterly. No, not him. all the people. Chariot, Edger Than Thou, Turf Nation even. I had a message with him a while back. He's doing all right. So
Bob of the Old Ways and his new channel, which is called
Armchair Black Belt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He's got some good stuff coming up. He's got some good stuff on his channel already. So go check that out. I need to get the list of links updated and make sure I have that in the streams going forward. So subscribe to this Bob Chaos guy if you want to.
Yeah. I occasionally do stuff. It is, if you look at the numbers.
Yep.
Definitely is.
A lot of those channels are in decline because
even Critical Drinkers channel, like when you think of the way that you have to look at YouTube, the way that in order to consider yourself as a successful YouTuber, which none of us here are, by the way, so we're not saying that we are, but it's the same mentality as capitalism, where you constantly need to be doing better than you did before, right? Or you're kind of failing. Right. But so when you think about the trajectory a couple of years ago that Critical Drinker had and Nerdrotic too, where Nerdrotic hit 1 million subs, Critical Drinker hit 2 million. And it was like, holy shit, they are gaining fast. And now you look at where they're at and they just completely stalled out. And that's not the sign of a good long-term situation. So,
nor is the, if you notice change in the content, if you do happen to be a fan of theirs, you notice a change in the content that they produce, or that maybe they've got a new sponsor that they've never had before, things like that.
Things like that. You never know. Maybe they're making a video one day saying that, oh, Access Media, blah, blah, blah. And then the next day they're going to see a movie as a guest of the writer or whatever of the thing and on the red carpet and enjoying that whole thing. Maybe they're just big fucking hypocrites and everything they say is just bullshit to activate your, rage center. And yeah, we don't do that most of the time. All right. Well, we're gonna get out of here. Have a good one. Got a word from friend of the show here at the end. Have a good one, folks. Thank you. Peace be with you, and bye.
Fucking level 1 rookie bitch ass commentators on Twitter. I don't understand it. You not fooling a libertarian by bringing up them bitch ass roads. How many times is it that we say we oppose taxation, and the first goddamn level 1 rookie childish kindergarten ass bitch made argument that you throw out there is, what about the roads? You must drive on the roads. You must hate the roads. You think we ain't of all the things that could stump libertarians, which tend to be smarter people. They tend to get there by way of economic reasons. And you somehow think that the thing that's gonna stump us and be like, damn, fuck this libertarian shit, is the motherfucking roads. Jesus Christ. Walter Block has a long form write-up of the privatization of roads and highways. This is level 1 shit. Just because maybe you can't figure it out, which is okay. This is why we're for free markets. Just because you can't figure out how minus taxation, people would say, damn, I need to get over there. What if we built a goddamn flat space? If you think people can't figure that shit out, or you can't figure out how people would do that, that's on you. That's okay. This is why we're free market. Let the smart people kind of figure that shit out and allocate those resources. But I promise you, homies, you're not fooling now libertarian by bringing up them bitch ass roads. Fuck them hoe ass roads, man.